let's start with the superposition theorem. Okay, and I'm recording this session. I'll give it. So in the superposition theorem, we'll have acting. Oh, sorry. Can you see the screen now? Okay. So superposition theorem means one source at a time. Like suppose I'm giving you one example. We'll have this voltage source and in this we'll have current source suppose in between. Now tell me how many sources are there? Three sources. Two voltage source and one current source. 2, 6, 8, 7, 9, 10 volt. Okay. So basically we'll have three sources. Now just imagine that you are having in a class. Okay, and you entered into the class and you will become the monitor of your class. Monitor, you understood? Yeah, that you look after the class. And then one more student got admission. Then the teacher said that he is more perfect. Then he is the second monitor of the class. Okay. Then another student enters. That then teacher decided that she is the third monitor of the class. Okay. Third monitor of class. Now see what happens. You will fight with each other. You'll say that I'll be the leader, and he'll say that second one will say that he'll be the leader. Third one say that she will be the leader, right? So you are fighting with each other, but teacher decided that for the 1 month you will be the monitor. For the second month you will be the monitor. He will be the monitor, and for the third month she will be the monitor. Okay. So when you are monitoring the class, another two will be dismissed. Means these two are not monitoring the class. Okay. If second one is monitoring the class, then another two will be dismissed. That's fine, right? Okay. So back to the question related to this concept, we'll have this kind of three monitor, one monitor, two monitor, and three monitor. Okay. So if in the first step there will be first monitor only, and another monitor will be removed, correct? But removed means if there is a voltage source, that must be short circuit. Okay, and if there is a current source, that must be open circuit. Okay, if there is a voltage source, then that must be short circuit. Like, see, how will you remember this? I'll tell you. Voltage sources, it is for superposition. Like suppose this one is the voltage source, right? So and this one is the current source. Okay, just imagine voltage source is like your relative which you don't like. Some of the relatives are there now, especially in India we have that we don't like that relative. So just imagine that he is coming to your home and you see that he is coming. Then in that case you will shut the door or open the door? Shut the door. Okay, and just imagine current source is your girlfriend. Okay, so now tell me, for your girlfriend, will you open the door or shut the door? Open the door, right? So voltage source male, right? I every time I told you voltage source current, and current source is female because current is coming like aati hai, like in India we used to say aati hai, right? So for voltage source, that must be short circuit. Short circuit means removing that source, connecting with the plain wire. And for the current source, it would be a open circuit. Understood? Back to this. Now in this, as I told you, in the first step we'll take the first source, that is of 2 voltage source, and another 7 ampere source would be open circuit because it's a current source. When we need to remove it, then it would be open circuit. Okay, then again 9 ohm, then this 10 volt should be short circuit or open circuit? Tell me. It's your relative, so it would be open circuit or short circuit. Okay, so this would be a first step. Similarly, we'll do the second step. In the second step, we'll take the second source. Now she'll be the monitor and another two will be removed, right? Now this is the voltage source. For the voltage source, you will shut the door or open the door. Voltage source is your relative. Shut the door means short circuit. Current source will be as it is, because now in the second step we have to take second source only. And now tell me about the 10 volt. It would be short circuit or open circuit? Be short circuit. Now the diagram for, yeah, we have to do individual, then we need to add it. Now in the third step we have to take the which source? Third source. Current source we have already taken now. Third source is which one? 10 volt. Correct? So it would be 6, 8, 9, and this one is voltage source must be removed, and current source 7 ampere is open circuited or short circuited? Open circuit. Okay, this one is open circuit. So now the diagram looks like this. I take the no, don't remember it like this. For the first step I take first source. For the second step I take second source. For the third step we took third source. Note it down. Now see, in the, like suppose in the question they ask you that you need to calculate the current in 9 ohm. They can ask you any one of the current, but they ask you to calculate the current in 9 ohm, right? So 9 ohm is this one, right? Now mark I. If the direction is given in the question, then it's well and good. If direction is not given, then we can take it according to our convenience. Suppose I have taken I like this, right? Now in the first step, we need to calculate I dash. In the second step, in the 9 ohm only, I am marking the same direction as well. We'll calculate I double dash. And in the third step, we'll calculate I triple dash. Okay? Yeah, every time the different current will flow because the sources will change, the supply is changing every time. Now as you can see that I dash direction, I double dash direction and I triple dash direction, all these are same or different? Direction of I dash, I double dash. If the direction is same, then the final value of current would be how much? That is I is equal to I dash plus I double dash plus I triple dash. This is your final answer. If any one of the direction is opposite, then in that case we have to take minus sign for that particular current. Like suppose I am giving you one example. If I have taken I triple dash in the opposite direction with the main current, so in this case answer would be I is equal to I dash plus I double dash minus I triple dash. Okay. Now the thing is, how will you calculate I dash, I double dash and I triple dash, right? There is a question. So now you know the concept of KVL, mesh analysis, and you know the concept of nodal analysis, right? You know the concept of nodal analysis. You can solve by any one of the method, whichever you want, in whichever you are convenient. Got it? So that is totally up to you. Okay, note down everything, then I'll practice more question. Yeah, see, this is the diagram, and you have to do it by again superposition theorem, and you need to calculate current through 3 ohm. Okay, sorry. So in the first step, you have to take the first source. Then voltage source must be, current source must be, I dash. Now calculate it. Now in this case, we'll have only single node A. So this one would be I dash. This one would be I. We can take it any current, I1 or I2. Now apply nodal analysis and then tell me how you can solve it further. Get the equation plus 20 divided by 4 A minus by 20 plus VA by, then take LCM. How to take the LCM? Take the LCM, yeah. Then cross multiplied it. This LCM go here, then cross multiplied it. This 4 will term will here, right? So after cross multiplication, you will get the value for V. Then after that, we'll substitute the value. Then we don't need another value. Only need I dash, right? And I dash is how much? According to minus divided by 20, correct? Substitute the value of V over here, I dash. Okay. This is your first step only. Now you have to repeat it with the second step. Yeah. Draw the second step diagram. For the second step, what you need, what step one would you consider? Then third one is the current source. Will create and confuse current source, open circuit ultimate. Correct? So don't need to draw because current is not flowing in it. So why we are drawing? It will create a confusion only. This one I double. Yeah, what you are saying? Yeah, it would, as we have done. Okay. Now you can do it right and calculate the value I double dash. Now draw the third step. Third step different step, that diagram is this. Now do it. Do it this question by mesh. Okay, nodal you have done now, so you can already become practice. Did the practice of nodal. Now you can do it by mesh analysis. Tell me the mesh equation. Solve the mesh calculator as well. It would be for the first mesh equation minus 4I1 minus I1 minus I2 and equal to your first equation. Now tell me the second equation. Yeah, so for the next equation we take the super mesh, right? Because there is a current source minus I2 minus I3 I then minus 6 I2 minus I1 is equal to. Now tell me the third equation is minus I2 plus I3 equal to 9. Yeah, one and the same. Okay. Now you know now how to do it in the calculator. Do it. Then tell me. Now in the last, what you need, as you know, I would be I dash plus I double dash plus I triple dash plus I 4 dash. Because you have taken current in the same direction. right? Now next move towards the Thevenin theorem. In the Thevenin theorem, we'll follow certain steps. Step number 1, that is, you need to find out the value of load resistance. Load resistance, like suppose I'm giving example, in whichever resistance they ask you to calculate the current, 10 and 20. Suppose they ask you to find current 10 ohm. Okay, they ask you to calculate current in 10 ohm. 10 ohm is the load resistance. RL is equal to how? 10 ohm. Got it? Now step number 2. No, it's like, see, just imagine this is your home. Okay, this is your circuit, this is your home, and you are using bulb in your house, right? So that bulb is known as load, and the resistance present in that load is known as load resistance, and you can consider as a bulb. That is the load resistance. Now this load resistance can be anyone. Like if they ask you to calculate current in 864, then that would be the load resistance. In whichever branch they ask you to calculate the current, that would be your load resistance. Got it? They gave us the load always. Now open circuit RL. Open circuit RL means we need to remove RL. Okay, we remove. Now see how can you remove it? Like as I told your home, and you are, yeah, this is your, just imagine, you have to use your imagination power. This is your home. Okay, and you are RL. You are 10 ohm. Okay, then your parents removed you from their house. Why? Because you are not doing any work, you are not studying, you are not doing it, you are doing everything wrong. Parents decided that they said Krishna leave our home. Okay, that would be the open circuit. Everything will remain same. Nothing will change. Instead of making circuit RL, RL would be in the step number 2. Okay, okay. Now in the step number 3, we need to calculate, as it's Thevenin is a scientist, so based on the basis of his gave the theorem, he said now you need to calculate the Thevenin voltage. Now you need to calculate Thevenin. Thevenin voltage is denoted by, again, draw the same circuit. The circuit 24 6 820. This one is A, one is B. Now we need to calculate VTH is equal to VAB. From wherever you were removed, calculate potential across that point. Voltage is the potential now. So now you can remember this step, that in the first step you are at 10 ohm, in the step your parents remove their house, in the third step your mom started calculating potential. In potential means the good point, like is like that now, that she is saying that no, my son is not so bad, he that work has some positive points there. So she started calculating positive points in you, or she started potential across, correct? So now we need to calculate V. As you can see that there is no direct connection between A and B, right? So you need words, like you are moving from A to word C, then you need to move towards. Okay. Now, according to, so VAC is how much? Can we write it down? IAC to RAC? Yes, IC to RCD, IDB into RDB, right? As you can see that it's an open circuit. Now tell me, will the current flow across 8 ohm as it's an open circuit? Current is flowing through 8 ohm? Yes or no? No, current is not flowing across 8 ohm. Current in, because it's an open, current across this branch is 0. Similarly, current across this branch is also 0. If current is 0, there will be the voltage across that points. No, no. The voltage across these 2 points is also 0. Correct? Yeah, basically that will be. Now what is left? ICD to RCD. RCD already know, that is 6 ohm, right? But we don't know the value for ICD. Correct? Can we get the value for ICD? Calculate the value. We have, you know, that current or current analysis or nodal analysis. Correct? As you can see, that is single mesh. Can we apply mesh over here? Now tell me the mesh equation for this. For this to calculate ICD, I1 is equal to, what would be the value of I1? We got it. We need to solve it now. Solve it. One thing you need to remember, that you are moving from C, then current from C. Okay. In whichever direction you are moving, current should move the same direction. So after this, we'll get ICD as 2 ampere. It would be 6. That will become 12. Much? It will become 12 volt. Right? Yeah, 12 volt. So this is the Thevenin voltage, we got it. Now next, for step number 4. Step number 4, you need to calculate Thevenin resistance. Like as I told you, your mom started calculating, but your dad starting now in the next step, your father starting calculating negative points in it. Negative point means the resist. Okay, not well, like not doing it, not studying, blah blah blah. Okay, dad is like this only, no? No. Okay. So for that you have to follow certain steps. That voltage source must be, as I just told you, theorem, it would be short circuit or open circuit. Yeah, in this case also it is short circuit, and current source would open circuit and short circuit. Open your girlfriend and you are opening the door. So let's read the diagram. In this we'll have only the voltage source, right? Voltage source. Now see the diagram, 4, 6, 8. 4, 6. A, this is. Now see, the diagram will look like this, correct? Now just imagine you are standing at A position and you need to move towards B position. Okay, so 4 ohm, 6 ohm, and 8 ohm, all these are your friends. Okay, whichever of your friend are at the same path, means go to both the house at the same path. That means they are connected in series. But whichever of your friend are connected at the different path, means you have to choose, like whether I can go to this home house or this house, then that means they are connected in parallel. Okay, so we'll start with always friend which is far away, that is 4. Now tell me, you are moving, then 4 ohm house and 6 ohm house, they are at the same path or at the different path? Can you go to both the house at the back to or at home, your college? Both 4 and 6, they are coming at the same path or at the different path? They are coming at the different path, so means they are connected in parallel. Now combined it. Now tell me, now these two are connected at the same path or at the different path? So now we can in series because they are at the. If we'll solve it further, 4 parallels, 4 plus 6 plus 8 is equal to RTH. Now solve it and then tell me the value. Now next we'll towards the last and final step, that ultimately we need to calculate current, right? Now back to this first step, have to find out your second step, parents removed you. Third step, your mom started calculating potential. Fourth step, your dad started calculating points in resistance. So finally, what happened? The mom calculated her points potential, and your dad calculated his points, that is RTH. They put both the points together, the series, right? And then what they decide? Oh, okay, you are now back. RL is so you are now back, and you are removed from A and B terminal. In this case, we need to calculate current according to Ohm's law. I is equal to R. H R is how? RTH RL. BTH already calculated, got it as volt. No, VAB is not V. Yeah, VAB is VTH, correct. And RTH also we have calculated 10 point, and RL is 10. Now you will get the final current. Solve it. Just always, I told, it looks like a simple, but like from that simple step, you can solve any complicated question. Okay, try to solve this one. And in this case also we don't have direct connection between A and B, right? We are moving from A to D, D to E, E to F, F to G, G to B. We can move like this, right? Or you can move this one also. You have two paths. But why would you choose the longer path if your shortest path is available? Like, don't see that current is flowing. You imagine you are at A, you need to move towards B. You will go through this path, this path, this path. You can't go through this path, right? Then, or you can either move towards like this, or you can move towards like this. You have two options, green one and yellow one. Now you tell me, you are a smart guy, that which option you will choose, green one or yellow one? If you are moving by a walking. So this would be a shortest, green one. Okay, understood? Current is not flowing, you are flowing. Always remember. So for VAB, what we can write down? VAC, VAD, VDE plus VEF plus VFG plus VGB. Okay. For getting the value of VAB, you should know I1 and you should know I2. If there is a current source, then we'll have direct equation from the current source. I1 direction and 6 ampere direction, they are at the same, right? So I1 we can write it down as 6 ampere, correct? Now for I2, as you know, it's simple mesh. You can apply the mesh analysis, get the value of I2. Now from here, we'll get the value of I1 and we'll get the value of I2. We can substitute it here. Then after substituting it, we'll get the value for, right? Now, yeah, you need to short circuit the voltage source. Now tell me which resistance is in series and which is in parallel. So in this case 10 and 12 are in parallel and 6 is in series. Correct? Solve it and then tell me the value. Last step is to calculate current, right? Draw the diagram. VTH in series with RTH, then RL is open circuit. RL is connected back. And for that we need to calculate current in RL only. Current is how much? VTH divided by RTH plus RL. We'll have all the values, substitute it, then tell me the answer. What is VAB? VAC plus VCD plus VDB, right? VAC is 0. Is the second sign is minus, so we'll take minus. The voltage source. Now the third case we can write it down as VDB is IDB into RDB, right? RDB is 1. Now IDB. You are moving from D to B, so current should also move from D to B, right? So I1 is how much? Current I1 and 2 ampere, they are moving in the same direction or in the opposite direction? So I1 value is how much? Minus 2. So IDB is basically minus 2, right? So it would be minus 2 Vx and it would be minus 2. This is the value we got it for VAB, right? No, see, I told you VDB is how much? IDB into RDB. Basically, VDB is how much? I1 into R, right? According to Ohm's law. And as you can see that I1 is equal to minus 2. You will get the direct current equation, right? So if I'll substitute the value, then it would be minus 2 X I1 is minus 2. Minus 2 into 1. That will be minus 2. So we'll get VAB as this equation. Okay? Yeah. So wherever you got the resistance in that path and you need to calculate voltage, then how will you do it? Then you will do V multiplied by, like V is equal to I into R. So simply I apply Ohm's law over here. Okay? Yeah. Now for that you need to calculate Vx, right? Now tell me, by mesh analysis we can calculate Vx. Now you tell me how can we get it? In this case, it is depending on father, its voltage. So we have to search where his father is. His father is here, right? So as I told you, for father, we have to use always Ohm's law. For Ohm's law, what is the formula? V is equal to I multiplied by R, right? So for that, I is how much? As it's in the middle wall. So in the middle wall, there is a flow of double current, right? So according to this, the sign convention they have mentioned, I2 is same or I1 is same? I2 is same, so it would be I2 minus I1 or I1 minus I2 multiplied by the resistance. Resistance is how much? 10, and the voltage over the 10 ohm is how much? Vx. So this is the equation we got it from the dependent source. That is Vx is equal to I2 minus I1 multiplied by 10. Understood? Now see, next step is to calculate Thevenin resistance. For the Thevenin resistance, as you already know, we'll have voltage source must be short circuit or open circuit. Tell me. Short circuit. This is the voltage source. We need to short circuit it. But we can't touch the dependent source. Okay? We never touch the dependent source. Whether it's a dependent voltage source or it's a dependent current source. So next for that, current source would be open circuit or short circuit? Open circuit. So let's do that. Current source would open circuit, right? So the diagram will become like this. Now this is A and B. So this wire we don't need to have any use. It was the plain wire, right? No current was flowing across that. So now next step in this, we have to place a test voltage source across A and B. This is only for the dependent source question for calculation of RTH, Thevenin resistance. Test voltage source is always of 1 volt. So we'll place a test voltage source of 1 volt. Okay. We'll place a test voltage source of 1 volt over here. Clear? Now, as you know, according to Ohm's law, V is equal to always, it has to be 1 volt. Now, according to the Ohm's law, V is equal to I into R, right? So, if we want to calculate R, then R is how much? V divided by I? Voltage is how much? 1 volt. So, I'll write down 1 volt. Let us consider the current flowing here would be I naught. Okay. So, divided by I naught would be equal to RTH. Now, this will become the formula for every case, whether it's a Thevenin theorem or the Norton theorem, that we need to calculate RTH by this formula. Whenever there is a dependent source, there is a separate case for independent, and for this one, there is a dependent source. Got it? Now, for the calculation of RTH, we need to calculate I naught. And for I naught, whenever we need to calculate the current, we always use mesh analysis, right? So in this, already the current is flowing I naught. I am taking in the same direction. Let us consider this one would be I1. Two meshes are there and one dependent source. So we need to make the 3 equation. Now tell me the 3 equations. See, the first mesh equation is positive, negative, and the sign is given negative 1 I1 negative 10 I1 plus 2 Vx is equal to, this is first equation, correct. Second and third, the second equation is, it's a voltage source, not a current. So you can simply apply mesh analysis for this one also. So that would be minus 1 I naught plus 1 and then minus 2 Vx is equal to 0. right? Now you got three equation. One is this one, another is this one, and another is this one. Then calculated the value for I naught, because we not I naught. We want I naught. Calculated. Now draw the diagram. This is another question that you need to do it by using Thevenin theorem only. RL is equal to 2 ohm. In this you need to calculate complete current. Do it and then let me know.